What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Wednesday, May 18th, 2022, and this is the AMC, GME, and SPY Algo Exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. As always, I hope you had a great day in the market today and you were able to make some extreme gains for yourselves. I'm going to go over all the regulars that I always go over, my snake algos for AMC, GME, and SPY, as well as some macro comparatives. So, with that said, let's dig in. On your screen is AMC and SPY today, 5-minute intraday charts with my micro intraday snake algo on both AMC on your left, SPY on your right. They were absolutely dead on again today. I did it on GME today as well. Here is a view of GME's intraday micro snake as well. Dead on projection and fulfillment from all of them. Intraday, a choppy day, crazy day in the market today. SPY absolutely fell off a cliff. Started in pre-market, down 4%, over 4% in regular trading hours, down some more here in after hours, which we'll look at here in a second. AMC as well, crazy volatile day, as you can see. Intraday, a heavy move to the upside. It bounced off the 1250 right at market open and then absolutely ripped one off with an intraday high of 1422, and then again it fell off a cliff and got ripped right back down to where it began, and it is currently it was down 1.09 is where it ended the day, and is currently up 0.08 in after hours. But the micro intradays, like I said, projected and fulfilled in real time that we got to watch in the live streams today, the entire day. Just absolutely amazing. I mean, I don't know what else to say about these things other than that. So if you got to witness that today here in the live streams, it was pretty kick-ass. And if you made some extreme gains today, congratulations. These markets are absolutely batshit crazy. All right, those are the micro intradays. Let's take a look at AMC and the intra-week snake algos. As I said, AMC finished today down 1.09%, up 0.08 in after hours at $12.77. Now, with these intradays, I wanted to show you something real quick. The previous the intra-week, the previous intra-week snake is this one here, and I showed you about the inverted mirroring in it in last night's video briefly. And what I wanted to show you is I got to looking at this, and ironically it is still with some more extension there, and it still gives the candle for candle projection and fulfillment of its overlap, that small inverted mirroring, and then candle for candle, if you extend it up here to where we're at now, you get projection and fulfillment. Obviously, this here, not exactly to the price level to which the projection was. It did not project it that high, which I explained what my thoughts were on that movement today within the live stream. But you still get projection fulfillment candle for candle. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that on and let it continue to fulfill if it's going to do so in that manner. As if there was not a diversion from it. And I'm going to show you here with the diversion what it would look like as well. But I'm going to leave it there so you see the projection or potential projection from that moving forward, with a potential for it to expire and fulfill expired by the end of the week on Friday morning. If it were to do that, that would give the overlap projection and fulfillment 1, 2, 3, 4, and then beginning of day. So 5 full days, and then Friday is where that would divert and expired fulfilled if it were to continue to fulfill in that manner. Then the clip that I had and I looked at the day prior to and the day of, I talked to you last night about it, and then the one from back here previously, this is the one that led up through here today. The pullback to some extent, I was expecting here. Let me move that out of the way so you can see it. I was expecting that pullback here to some extent, but not to the level in which it did pull back there today, as you can see. So unless this thing were to go ahead and just absolutely go bonkers here in after hours and start ripping back up here and get in line with it, I'm going to go ahead and put this to the wayside for the time being. This was the one from prior to the completion of fulfillment and expiration of this previous one prior to that 35% move up that I talked about in its inverted mirrored way. So I'm going to go ahead and put that over here off to the side for the time being. But the one that I was looking at and hoping to get some more data and confirmation today with price movement to be able to place this would have been the new one when looking at this one as a compressed version like I had on here, and then a potential diversion from this yesterday. And when doing so and taking into consideration today's price action, the only way I can see anything reasonable whatsoever to put this on here would be something along, if you look here, let me get in here and show you. Something along these lines right there. That's the only thing right now to me that makes any sense whatsoever. Obviously, I talked about the rake up and the potential, what I consider an offsetting between SPY and AMC. It was ran up, and then we saw the offset of it, and then they brought them down like that together. After the morning move to the upside, it started getting pulled down. So as I'm speaking, it's starting to get this little move up. We'll see what the fulfillment of that is, if it's going to keep moving in the upside direction. But looking at it like that, considering a potential diversion back here like we talked about in the video last night, yesterday to the upside, and then clipping the new one, which would have been the day of diversion yesterday, put on here with an overlap, projection, fulfillment, and then potential upcoming future projection and fulfillment looks like that. Now it's very, very similar. I want to draw your attention to this. In this extended pull that I just showed you, it is very similar when doing that with this previous snake. This upcoming projection here from it is very, very similar in that of the upcoming potential movements that it would project prior to it starting to move back to the upside if it were to continue to fulfill in that manner. So a couple little different nuanced things that I'm looking at now that I have been identifying these mirrored inversions over and over and over again. It's allowing me now, what I've found on the micro intraday and the way those operate, it has allowed me to identify those on a mid and macro time frame as well. As like I've said before, I'm hoping with all of the documentation of data that myself and a few others in my premium Discord are doing to come up with some sort of methodology surrounding this and those inverted mirrorings, and or mapping out of them to potentially foresee them prior to them actually happening. So that is what I'm looking at moving forward with the micro intraday and the intra week snakes for AMC. GME's. Now I had moved this around today because I have not cleaned this up yet on my chart, and I will get to that, and I will clean this up. So that 35% move to the upside from the previous snake that was projected and fulfilled looked like this. Excuse me. And then we had the separation and diversion here, and I showed you in last night's video the day prior to, which is this, was hoping for some more data in the form of price action today. I showed you the micro to get the initial placement on this potential snake. It appears to me to be something similar to this as far as placement. Again, that would be referring to the separation movement in after hours and pre-market 2 days ago as being an inverted mirroring there that of the projection, and then the movement coming up from that, and the projected movement from that, I guess I should say, is looking like that moving forward in that position for the time being. The day of diversion is this one here. And something similar to what AMC's looked like. AMC's day of diversion. There's two ways of looking at it. One, obvious like that, but I think more or less I am considering this in something along these lines, this manner here. So dependent upon the move to the upside, if it were to give that right out of the gate, and or something more like that, I believe, is where I think I had it and I agreed upon in my brain that I thought would make the most sense. That would give it the overlap right where separation was in pre-market 2 days ago, and then obviously projection and fulfillment moving throughout according to that. So there is the day of, the day prior to, right? Both showing initial upside moves from where they're at. Consolidation here for a couple few days prior to a potential move to upside to some extent with the day of, and then continued midline consolidation and volatility. What, like I said in the video last night, what looks and appears to be going into next week. So those are the identifying features that I am looking at between the two intra-week snake clips currently. The macro comparative, the reason I tried to move this out and clean this up a little bit, and I'm just going to put it there for the time being so I can put this on here so I can see this a little more clear. And here was the previous placement of the macro comparative. It gave the projection and fulfillment for that 35% plus move up. And this is on the 1 hour. Let me go to the 4 hour. I want to show, I want to show you that. This one here on the 4 hour. Actually, show you on the 1 hour. Take that back. All right, so you get the projection and fulfillment for that move up to the upside, that 35+% move up. The projection and fulfillment to the downside here, as the green candles are indicating. Projection and fulfillment yesterday on the move up, and then going into in last night's video going into today, this was the projection from this macro comparative in this position, and it diverted from that and went invert mirroring to the downside. And the way I test these invert mirrorings out is where it diverts to where it is currently. I take that clip, I invert mirror it, and I see if it gives me exactly what I am looking for from candles in the projection, but in an inverted mirrored way. And lo and behold, what's already there does. So what this was projecting for it to do, it did in the form of the price action and candles, which is the blue, which is just what I clipped here in actuality, but it did it in an inverted mirrored way where it went to downside and did it versus following what it was projected as a price level to the upside. So the price action was the same, but it was in an inverted mirrored way, obviously at a lower level in this scenario as it was downside. And this is how I've been identifying these inverted mirrorings, just like I did there. So with that being said, looking at this and its potential upcoming projection, obviously it could do one of two things. If it's going to run this the whole way back up and get raked back down, that's a possibility, and or it's just going to finish out what's left here as a projected movement for it, and then potentially converge back with this consolidative area here. And then this is a W formation, which is what both the day of and day prior to intra-week snakes are showing. A move to the upside, followed by downside, back a little upside before the next move to the upside in that leg up. So that's what I'm looking at. That would run right along with both of these. So that is essentially what I am looking at for characteristics with the intra-week snakes and the macro comparative for GME. SPY. Real quick, GME finished the day, it got smacked up pretty good today. It finished the day down 8.87% at 91.48. It's currently up 0.35 and after hours at 91.80. There was no run up for it really here this morning. It did briefly get a little push up to the 90, what did I say? Right around the 90, yeah, it went up to about 100 So you say about 99 something, $100 almost flat, even rejected and back down to the downside, and currently trading at $91.80. SPY, absolute nutbag day on SPY, and this nutbag day on SPY was absolutely projected and fulfilled in two different ways, actually three different ways here, with my micro intraday snake, which you can see there that we got to watch the projection fulfill in its entirety throughout today. It did have to be segmented. I didn't call these out to you guys in the video here as to what the setups were, but what this is today is a full-on replica of yesterday's movements in the flipped version, and it was segmented into three because of price level changes, but the movements themselves were completely replicated 100% today on the micro time frame. So that's the micro intraday. That's number one projection and fulfillment on SPY. The second projection and fulfillment on SPY was from my intra-week snake. Let me go to 4 hour. My intra-week snake is the yellow snake here. Right here. Here's its previous almost 3 weeks now? Yes, 3 weeks now. Projection and fulfillment in its entirety right there. Dead on, almost 4 hour candle for candle projection and fulfillment. And I spoke to you all in the last, 2 videos now about price action making its way up to these potential rejection levels, then rejecting and heading back downside, and it would do so in a heavy manner according to the snake's projection. And we did yesterday reject off of the 409. I think I called out levels of 401, 402 at the low end, 409 to 412 on the high end. 409, just above 409 was the rejection point yesterday. And then what you see happen today was that short upside move in the morning here after it flushed down in pre-market, short little upside burst and then a rejection and just absolutely fell off a cliff. SPY ended the day down 4.03% at 391.86, down an additional 0.17% at 391.20 in after hours. And as you can see, the snake absolutely landed that projection and fulfillment literally candle for candle today, and previous projection and fulfillment it has as well. So looking out forward, if this were to stay fulfilling the intra-week snake as it stands, as it's placed, you can see here it does appear to be continuation to downside. Sorry, I had to pause there for a minute. It does appear to be a continuation to downside, what looks to be somewhere, and we bounced off that 385 last time. So somewhere in the 380, in the 380 to 385 area, dependent upon where it wants to find bottom before bounce. I'll put it there about the 383. That's kind of midline between the bottom that it's showing here and this one here before a potential bounce back up and then continuation downside, obviously. So that is what I am looking at. Again, there can be volatility in here. This is a 4 hour candle view of this. And that's essentially what this is representing when placed in this manner with its projection and fulfillment thus far. So that's what I'll be looking at from the intra-week snake. Now, the macro comparative from the 08-09 correction and crash is the red one, and it's the extended version that I have called. And I had talked to you all about this and its price movements according to that and what it is projecting in the position that I've had it in this extended version. And what it's projecting and has been is this movement upward in an ascending manner and consolidation throughout that, and then putting in this round top prior to dumping off. If it's to fulfill this and continue to fulfill this macro comparative in its current placement without any adjustments or anything. And the only thing that I was concerned about with this movement, not so much a candle for candle projection, but just seeing an ascending level of support on the way up to do this. So It's essentially sitting right there right now, where if you go ahead down here, and I can bring it down lower. Obviously, this can get tilted down a little bit lower and still be an ascending level of support to some extent. So we'll see how far this will go, if it's going to fulfill the macro comparative. Obviously, there's a tad bit difference between the upcoming projection from the current snake and the macro comparative with this bounce. However, if it were to bounce somewhere down here in that 380 to 385 region and then go heavy back upside and get lined back up with this, obviously in hindsight, we're going to look at that and never bat an eye at it. So as long as there's somewhat of a crowned or round top with an ascending level of support and that ascending channel of consolidation, that is what I am potentially looking at for characteristics of the fulfillment of the macro comparative in its current position. And this thing dropped down out of there. Again, this would be the third way of full-on projection and fulfillment from these comparatives and snakes on SPY. That was here, and you can see what its projection last week was to the upside. I talked about that most of last week, and that is what it got. And then the projection for going into yesterday and today was this downside move, and it has now done that. Now, obviously, the projection moving forward from this, if you get a little bit granular about it, is somewhat of a bounce and a move back to the upside with this ascending level of consolidation that is showing. But like I said, not a candle for candle projection and or expectation on my part. All I want to see from this is somewhat of an ascending level of support and that round top to eventually be fulfilled in some manner prior to dumping off of the edge of the cliff here. Now there is, and there has been, an alternate way of potentially looking at this, and I am going to hope to free up some time here, hopefully before this were to dump down out of here, if this is what's going on here, and we would be in a more compressed version of this last little move out of here, and we would potentially be over here already in the midst of this on its way down for the crash. Today was a heavy sign of that potential, down 4% in one day. That's a huge day to the downside for SPY and for the broader market. So I'm hoping to get some time and take a look at that from a charting perspective, but I'm not going to rush into that, because right now, as far as it stands, it is still projecting and fulfilling in the placement that I've always had it in since I've been reviewing it on the channel for the entire time I've been on the channel, since December. So that is what I am looking at from the intra-week snake and the macro comparative extended version from 0809 on SPY moving forward into tomorrow and beyond. That's everything I have for this video. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. I appreciate it greatly. Hey, listen, to those of you that reached out, sent messages, comments, those of you in the live stream today, expressing your heartfelt kind words towards me and what it is that I've done out here, and your wishes, only wanting the best for me. Thank you very, 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 very much. And thank you all for the understanding and comprehension of me just not doing the live streams here starting next week like I had announced in the video last night. That is greatly appreciated. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and I appreciate your adult ability to comprehend and understand that and want nothing but the best for me as well. So to reiterate, because I know there's been a lot of questions about it, I answered a ton of them today. Yes, I will continue to put the update and prep videos out Sunday through Thursday every single night, as I have always done. That will not change. The only thing that's changing going into next week is I will not be live streaming the Monday and Wednesday and then half a day Friday that I have been live streaming. There will be no more live streaming going on. It will just be the update and prep videos like this every night, Sunday night for the weekly, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the daily update and preparation videos. All right, y'all. That's everything I have for the video. Thank you all very much. Do y'all's thing. Good luck tomorrow in the market. Tomorrow's a Discord day for me, again, for the private live stream. I will be live here Friday afternoon from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., so mark that down. Make sure you remember that. I'll remind you in tomorrow's update video. And good luck in the markets tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will talk to you all on the next one tomorrow. Take care. Enjoy your night. Later.